Family, friends, and the community have started saying a final goodbye to a murdered 6-year-old. We'll show you the special way he's being remembered. A Lexington realtor is charged with stealing thousands in jewelry. What he's accused of doing to get rid of the evidence. More and more Kentuckians are dying from overdoses of a powerful narcotic called fentanyl. But as a WKYT investigation found, many of the victims don't even know they've taken it.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. People are waiting in line right now to say goodbye to a 6-year-old murder victim.
Visitation for Logan Tipton began at 2 this afternoon. Those who have come to pay their respects have been crossing a makeshift football field set up to honor Logan's love of the game. WKYT's Monique Blair is live for us in Versailles with our top story at 6. Monique?
Well, Jennifer and Amber, I've really seen firsthand tonight how much this community has been affected and touched by Logan Tipton's death, as there has been a steady line of people waiting out front of the Clark Funeral Home for about 2 hours now, as the hundreds of people prepare to say goodbye.
He is a strong boy on the team.
6-year-old Josiah McKee proudly wore his Woodford County football jersey to the visitation Thursday night to honor his Simmons Elementary classmate, his teammate, and his friend, Logan Tipton.
We came out here tonight to visit with Logan, to say our goodbyes to him.
Josiah and his mom, Leisha, were among hundreds who stopped by the Clark Funeral Home to say goodbye to the young, aspiring football star.
Logan is a very sweet little boy, always smiling, loved football. He was fierce out there on the field. He was little, but he was fierce and strong.
Some of the people who came by Logan Tipton's visitation were strangers, and some were close family and friends. But the message amongst them all was clear as they waited patiently in line outside the funeral home. This community has come together in their time of grief.
It's just great that the Lord moved in this way to help this family in this time of grief, because they're going to need all the support they can get to get through this.
Now, you can't really see real well because it's dark out here, but those attending this visitation were greeted by a makeshift football field out here on the front lawn of the Clark Funeral Home, because Logan Tipton loved the game of football so much. I'm reporting live in Woodford County. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Logan Tipton's funeral is tomorrow morning at 11 at the community stadium at Falling Springs Park in Versailles. First responders from throughout the state traveled to Mount Sterling today to pay their final respects to a fallen firefighter. 30-year-old Zach Clevenger died Saturday after helping fight a fire in Estill County. Captain Clevenger was a member of the Montgomery County Fire Department and also volunteered his time with Estill Fire.
Fire service is a family, and when one falls, they all come together because they know it's very dangerous work that they do. In the circumstances here, it could have been any one of them.
Following his funeral, Clevenger's procession traveled through several counties to his final resting place in Lee County. He was buried with full firefighter honors.
A crash ends with a car inside a home. A pickup and a car collided at Garden Springs in Tamarack this afternoon. The crash sent the car flying into the side of a duplex nearby. The impact punched a hole in the home just below a kitchen window.
The damage was primarily due to the facade and the inside non-load-bearing wall. It damaged from the studs in the wall. So the concern we have is with that facade, brick facade falling down. So we're going to come out here and put a little shoring into it to make sure that's secured.
No people were inside the side of the duplex that was hit. There was a dog there, but the animal was not hurt. The driver of the car went to the hospital to be checked out. Lexington police made a quick arrest in a bank robbery.
It happened just before 1 this afternoon at the Central Bank on Tates Creek Road. Police caught the suspects hiding in a garage at Yellowstone Parkway just a few miles away. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to a witness who saw the arrest.
It started just before 1 when Central Bank on Tates Creek was robbed. Minutes later, folks who lived just a couple of miles away on Yellowstone Parkway found themselves right in the middle of the investigation.
It's just the world we're living in.
A neighbor said he was sitting in his garage at his home here on Yellowstone Parkway when a car came flying up and parked while he heard sirens blaring in the distance.
So I knew something bad had just happened, He runs towards me up the driveway, gets to my sidewalk out front here, and goes down the walkway, running between the two houses here.
He says the man busted through the gate, then tried to hide out in his neighbor's garage. That's where investigators found the man, as well as a gun and money bag stashed underneath a car. The neighbor who saw all this asked that we not identify him for his safety.
Well, it's definitely something to get your adrenaline going, and it makes you wonder what kind of world you're actually living in today. When, I mean, and you're sitting here and it's midday and something like that happens, you just never think it happened in front of your house.
Police found the car the suspects were believed to have been driving on the other side of the Yellowstone Horseshoe. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
So far, the suspects' names have not been released.
Homeowners trusted him with their houses and belongings. But tonight, a Lexington real estate agent faces allegations he stole thousands of dollars in jewelry. 38-year-old Glenn Bodley Howell III is charged with theft and evidence tampering. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us what Howell allegedly did to try to cover up the crime.
Bo Howell isn't just accused of stealing jewelry from a home on Abbeywood Road. He's also accused of destroying jewelry to keep police from identifying it. The 38-year-old realtor was arrested Friday and charged with theft by unlawful taking under $10,000 and tampering with physical evidence. He was released on bond and had nothing to say when I called him earlier today. His attorney told me it's too early to comment on the case. The president of the Lexington Bluegrass Association of Realtors says the arrest is uncommon for their profession.
Again, we're sorry this happened, but we pride ourselves on having the highest level of the public trust.
And that trust has been broken for some. But Friels says they have hundreds of thousands of openings each year without incident.
We use an electronic lockbox that contains the key that allows the realtor to gain access to the house. And within that, it keeps digital footprints and signatures of every step along the way.
Access that Howell no longer has. He was an independent contractor with Sotheby's International Realty in Lexington, but the company has terminated that contract, as evident by his listing on their website. Lexington police tell me it's still pretty early in this investigation, but they are checking to see if Howell may be connected to any other thefts. Police say the home wasn't one Howell was the agent on, but had brought his clients to see. His arrest citation says, quote, "The jewelry was later found destroyed in an attempt to keep it from being identified." In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Howell pleaded not guilty to the charges on Monday. Well, the next couple of days, you might think we fast-forwarded to spring. We have really warm temperatures on the way.
WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here now with a forecast that could break some records.
Yeah, we're going to be in the ballpark at least as we go into our Saturday and Sunday. It's not like what we're seeing out there today is anything to sneeze at. We're running 10, 15 degrees above normal already, and we're talking about readings that could be 25 degrees above normal heading into the weekend. Right now, everybody's still into the low and mid-50s. Southeastern Kentucky, we're still flirting with a 60 here or there. If you're out for the rest of the evening, temperatures will drop into the upper 40s and then put the brakes on. A fair amount of clouds out there, maybe seeing a peek or two of some stars, but overall, it's another mild evening. The lows tonight will be above where our normal highs are for this time of year. That puts it in perspective on just how warm things are. Now, your Defender radar network showing a lot of cloud cover, and we're seeing a sprinkle or two trying to develop out across western Kentucky. And later tonight, tomorrow morning, anyone is going to be fair game for an isolated shower or two as even warmer air begins to pull its way on in to the Bluegrass State. We see some of those isolated raindrops to our west. Here's the really warm stuff coming in across the Mississippi Valley. That has its eyes set on the Bluegrass State. Record highs and maybe the chance for some high winds, highlighting that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. It is a deadly drug that has stayed under the radar until now. Fentanyl is a narcotic pain reliever stronger than morphine, and it's made its way now into central Kentucky. As WKYT's Miranda Combs investigates, it's taken more lives in Fayette County this year than heroin, and most of the users don't even know that they took it.
In Fayette County, the number of deaths have jumped.
People need to know that this is pure poison.
Almost tripled from a year ago.
It is 30 to 50 times more potent than heroin.
And it's not just Fayette County.
We have seen over the last couple of years a marked increase in fentanyl on the streets in central Kentucky.
And the marks are left in homes like this.
These were just some pictures that my niece brought over. I mean, she was just the average girl.
What do you think when you look at these pictures now?
I think it's a waste. I think it's a waste that every person in this world has potential. And this is Summer and Katie and Jolene at Katie's birthday party in May.
Her youngest sister, Jolene Bowman, overdosed on July 1st.
It's like a dream. She said I needed to get to the hospital immediately.
Jennifer Powell thought this was another relapse for her sister, another chance to start over. Never occurred to her it could be the end. In a hospital waiting room, she told her niece her mother was gone.
And her daughter looks just like her. The thing I remember most is hearing her phone hit the floor. And she said to me, "What am I going to do without my mom?"
Her 37-year-old sister had been on and off drugs for about 5 years.
I think that she had a very weak moment.
The last year, though, she had been clean.
This picture was actually taken the first month of her sobriety. Not that this makes it any better at all, but she was not getting what she thought she was.
She says Bowman never spoke of fentanyl. She abused prescription drugs and heroin.
Most of the time, people don't realize they're getting fentanyl.
U.S. Attorney Kerry Harvey and his team, along with the Versailles Police Department, ended up charging 2 men with distributing fentanyl, resulting in Bowman's death. They say she thought she was getting a prescription pill. That's not uncommon, Harvey says. Fentanyl is cheaper, and dealers use it in place of other drugs.
Very few people actually seek fentanyl because it is so dangerous.
Bowman was one case of the 2 fentanyl overdoses Woodford County has seen this year. One example in a growing deadly trend. So far this year in Fayette County, fentanyl-related overdose deaths have climbed higher than heroin at 53. There have been 45 heroin deaths. Last year, the number of fentanyl deaths was drastically lower at 19. But numbers hold little value and make little difference when one of them is yours.
Literally in a minute, gone.
She's been gone for 5 months now. Time only stops in these pictures.
And I know that she in no way intended to die.
And if we can't get in front of this, that is a tragic trend that is going to continue.
Ironically, when Versailles police got the call about Bowman's death, they were training with the U.S. Attorney's Office on treating overdose deaths as crime scenes. That's a topic we've covered in the past. The U.S. Attorney's Office is pushing for autopsies on overdose deaths for possible prosecution on a federal level.
Miranda, we are talking about quite a dramatic increase in the amount of these deaths related to fentanyl.
And it pushes all overdose deaths up because, as we saw, heroin isn't going anywhere either.
Miranda, thank you.
Thank you. Hundreds of National Guard members will have to find another way to pay for college next semester. Why the money used to help them has run out.